Shark Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com. Offer of Love, Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Women love sex. That's right. You, that's the title of this video. You heard it right. Live and direct. Women love sex. And I think a lot of guys really don't understand how much. And a lot of guys don't want to come to grips with this. They don't want to accept this. This is just what it is. And you know what amazes me sometimes is you have a lot of guys out here that complain about not getting laid, which amazes me. I'm fascinated by that. What has happened? How the hell are you not getting laid? I mean, today, it's never been easier. Today it's much easier than ever, probably in history, as long as I've been living anyway. Now I don't know exactly how it was before I was born, but 20 years ago, you the average guy couldn't have multiple women. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, the average guy could not have multiple women. You know, in the 60s, 70s, even before then, if you were a guy that had multiple women, you had to have game and you had to have money. You you could not, the average guy could not afford to have more than one woman. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, that was unheard of. But today, an average guy that's working a 9 to 5 job can have as many women as he wants. As long as he got a little charm, charisma, talk game, sex game. You know, the possibilities are endless today. Women are giving the sex away like hotcakes today. And see, if you've been following me lately, I don't call women names. I don't call them bitches and hoes and all of that, because a lot of stuff that I hear a lot of guys complain about, that's just in a woman's nature. Really. You know, and I get it, because if you only know what you know until you learn better. That's why they say knowing is half of the battle. But a lot of women have to suppress their sexuality. You know, they've had to do that in the past, and they still have to do it today to a certain extent. But a lot of women are, sneaking around. A lot of people have open marriages now. It's more, it's not mainstream, but it's more. I'm gonna say it's not far fetched. I'm not shocked if someone was to tell me that they're in an open marriage, even though people don't broadcast it like that. You know, they don't tell their friends, and maybe maybe they might have one friend that might know, or they might be suspicious of them having an open marriage, but they don't broadcast it to their friends and family or whatever. Now, a lot of guys will judge people with open marriages kind of harsh. You know, I don't. First of all, I don't judge nobody's marriage. That's. And I'm not the moral police. I'm not the moral police, so that's just not my place to say to judge people's marriage when I don't know the outs and ins and of your marriage or relationship. But a lot of times, a lot of these women want to be open. It's not the guys, it's the women. And I've talked to a lot of couples about this, over the past 5 years. I've met quite a few couples in open relationships. And from the guy's perspective, he's just trying to keep his family together. Because a lot of these guys know that they just can't satisfy these women sexually, not consistently. They just can't do it. So a guy would rather, most of these guys would rather let their wife go out and take care of their fetishes or sexually, and maybe he would guide her along the way, or at least until she finds someone consistently on the side, in like a long-term relationship on the side. And until that's established, then he'll kind of step back once he feels like the guy or the girl, could be a woman too, the guy or the girl can be trusted for his wife to get involved with for the long term. Now, some guys will look at the husband and say, man, he's a cuckold. Well, he is. He is. But that's not for me to judge. I'll be like, hey, man, I guess you got to do what you got to do. A lot of these guys have given up. They just can't satisfy these women long term on a consistent basis. Like, this is why I always say it takes a village. It takes a village to maintain and have a family and have kids, children. See, a lot of us guys, we think we can do everything. We think we can do it all. And we go out with that mentality. We're looking for a woman to do it all. It just doesn't work like that. And a lot of guys get so emotional about it, men and women. But you have to be a practical thinking person. You have to take the emotion out. It's not about emotion. As a matter of fact, marriage, it wasn't for you anyway. Wasn't for me, wasn't for you anyway. Marriage was for rich people, rich and wealthy people. This is why we're failing with marriage in this country, because it never was for the working class people in the first place. That's what you probably don't know. And you can look this up. You don't got to take my word for it. Marriage was never for the working class, common man, common woman. Marriage was for rich, wealthy, white guys. And you can quote me on that and look that up. And then you're going to find out how marriage came about. Marriage ain't had nothing to do with no sex. Ain't had nothing to do with no love. Ain't had nothing to do with no Valentine's Day. Ain't had nothing to do with no holidays. Ain't had nothing to do with how you feel or how she feel. None of that. Marriage was about ownership and keeping what's mine, making sure my legacy, my assets and resources is being maintained and passed down to the next generation. That's what marriage was all about. It had nothing to do with no working class people. It wasn't set up for them to win. That's why we're failing out here. We're getting all caught up in what's on television, the commercials, and the wedding day, and none of this stuff has anything to do with marriage at all. That's why so many people are losing, because they don't really don't know. They really don't know what they're getting involved with. They're getting married to somebody because they're looking for somebody to make them happy. That ain't got nothing to do with no marriage. They want somebody to have sex with on a consistent basis. That ain't got nothing to do with no marriage either. As a matter of fact, sex don't got nothing to do with no marriage. Really, it don't. You know, like when you get married to somebody, look, it's about a family. Families coming together. Marriage is big business. And if you don't believe it, go down to the courthouse 5 days a week. You're gonna find out real quick. And when you walk in that courtroom, if you ever go into any courtroom, nobody's talking about how they feel either. Nobody's talking about how they feel. Nobody's talking about uh, what they did when they woke up this morning. Nobody's talking about any of that shit. Nobody's talking about love. Nobody's talking about any of this garbage that you hear people talking about all the time. Nobody's talking about the wedding day. Nobody's talking about any of that. So, we've been bamboozled out here. Really. So today, man, if you just wanted to have sex with a woman, that's really easy, man. Man, it's much easier today than ever. Especially when you get older. Like in the 40s, like I am. Now I have like the best of both worlds, bro. I got like women in the left that's older than me or around my same age group, and I got women on the other side that's in the late 20s, 30s. It's like the best of both worlds, bro. And I don't have to do a whole lot to get them. I really don't. I mean, it's like I have to turn down some women sometimes. And this might be hard for a lot of guys to believe, but I mean, the people that know me for years, they can co-sign this. No, you can't have them all. You shouldn't accept them all either. You should have some standards about yourself, no doubt about it. So I'm just shocked when I hear guys talk about, you know, how you get laid. Like first thing, man. First thing, if having sex with a woman is your goal, the first thing you must establish, the woman has to be comfortable with you. If she's not comfortable with you, it's not gonna go nowhere. It's not gonna happen ever. If a woman's not comfortable with you, forget about it. Forget about it. Now, forget about it. And the second thing you must do, not necessarily something you must do, but something you have to establish, is if a woman doesn't, if she's not comfortable with you touching her, forget about it. It's not gonna work out. Forget about it. Those are the two things. She has to be comfortable with you initially. You have to establish that. You do that through talking, asking questions. You spend time. It could be, I don't know, 2 hours, 4 hours, one day, 2 days, a week, however long it takes. It's different. It's going to vary from woman to woman. And it's going to depend upon who you are as well. What type of guy you are. You're a beta guy or whatever. Feminine guy or alpha guy or whatever. Whatever you want to call yourself. But it's all dependent upon what type of guy you are. But you gotta establish, she has to be comfortable with you, and she has to be comfortable with you touching her. When I say touching, I mean just general. I'm talking like it could be grabbing her hand, it could be you grabbing her waistline, it could be You putting your arm around her shoulders, whatever. That's just simple stuff like that. Could be you giving her a hug or she giving you a hug, you know. And what's gonna happen is that's gonna become a pattern after a while. And uh, it's gonna be you're gonna keep getting closer and closer. And especially if she grabs your hand and puts it around put your hand around her waist or on her leg or wherever she wants you to touch her. If that keeps on after a certain amount of time, it's gonna happen. It's going down. It's going down. You know, that's just what it is. But you have to establish that, and you have to be a certain type of guy. You can't be an average guy doing this. It's not gonna work. You know, if you really think about it, the average guy, in order for him to get laid, he has to lie or promise her some type of relationship or some type of sexual favor or something like that. That's what the average guy has to do. He has to be doing something to get laid. Like, that's what it is. But the rest of us, we don't got to do that. Man, you got some guys just paying up, just exchange for sexual favors. They just pay. You know what I'm saying? It's just tricking off. Some guys do that. Well, a lot of guys do that. Not some. A lot of guys do that. But you got other guys like me. I never have to do any of that shit. I mean, if I felt the need that I had to do something like that, I would keep it moving because I mean that goes against everything that I believe. Number one, and everything that I stand for. I'm not paying for no sex. What for? I'm the prize, not her. I mean, besides, I'm gonna last longer than her. From a physical standpoint, and probably from a health standpoint too, and socially, probably economically. So I just, I just don't see the reasoning behind that. You know, why should anybody pay for sex? I mean, I just don't understand it. The light is flickering in here for whatever reason. I hope it don't go out. Yeah. If it does go out, I got backup lights over here, so it's all good. So, it's like I just don't. That's just what it is out here. It's been that way forever. By the way, this just didn't start a year, 10 years ago. Guys always been paying for sex. Guys always been doing sexual sexual favors for sex, and it's always been certain guys that can have sex with women, no strings at all. You know, and if he hits it good, she'll come back. She'll come back for more. That's what it is. You know, that's what it is. So but I still find it. I still find it hard to believe sometimes. Today, man, and plus, man, you got the help of the internet today. There wasn't no internet. We didn't have internet access when I was growing up. That tells you how old I am. I'm showing my age right now. We had access to internet. Nope. Not at all. I don't even think I don't even think laptops existed until I was in high school. IBM. I think IBM came up with the first laptop. You quote me on that. I think IBM was one of if IBM wasn't the first to come up with a laptop, they was one of the first. You know, but it wasn't having a laptop wasn't common like it is today. It wasn't. Having a desktop computer wasn't common like it is today. It's like you can in order to reach out and contact somebody from outside of the U.S., you had to call or send a letter if you knew the address, or do it through word of mouth. But today, man, shit, you can reach out to somebody in Brazil, Japan, Mexico, Guatemala, all in the islands, Jamaica, Virgin Islands, Canada, everywhere today, man. That was unheard of. I mean, if you told somebody that you could meet somebody in South America, if you told somebody you got a girl or that came to see you from Brazil 30 years ago, they'd be like, you lying. They'd be like, you lying. But today, they'd be like, oh, for real? See. So it's just a new game at the end of the day. It really is. I mean, if I just wanted to have sex today with no strings attached, I could easily do it. Really easy. I could have, you know, probably 4 or 5 women that would come over just for the sex. Easy. Really. No strings, no expectations, no nothing. Really. Just time. That's it. Talk, a little bit of time, and she leaves afterwards. She'd call me the next time. And the reason why she would call me the next time is because a lot of women are not being fulfilled out here. That's another thing. A lot of guys are giving women, the lazy pump and dump. 10, 5, 10, 15 minutes tops. 15 minutes tops. Especially these guys in other cultures. These guys in other cultures, they don't go out of their way to satisfy women, get them orgasms and all that stuff. They don't do that. A lot of these other guys from these other cultures, they don't do that. Nope, that's not their thing. It's all about them busting off the guys. That's what it is. So a lot of these, let's just take a country like, let's take Japan, for example. I've been to Japan longer than the rest of these places. The average woman in Japan probably ain't never had an orgasm. Don't even know what it feels like. And she meets a guy like me, and her whole experience is totally different. And women get addicted to that. They get addicted to the feeling, the sensation. They don't want to let that go. Because you have to understand, sex is powerful. Now, sex can be used as positive or negative. Could be used as a weapon. Could be. but it can be used for good too. Depends on your intent, man or woman. Depends on their intent. That's why they see in society. This is why they suppress. They want to suppress a lot of women's sexuality, because what happens is, if you look at what's happening now in society, women are feeling sexually liberated and everything. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but in every society, um, women can't be willy nilly. They can't be loosey goosey out here, because what happens with that is things will be reckless. They're already reckless out here, behind the scenes mostly. But as far as mainstream America, or or any society that's mainstream as far as media goes, they cannot promote. Well, they're never going to promote in the media uh, females being sexually liberated on a massive scale. Like, you're not going to see that on NBC or ABC or Fox talking about the women movement. We're protesting for sexual freedom. That's never going to happen on those big networks. Never. No, they'll have everything else on there though. Gay movement, the women's march, all that stuff. That doesn't really mean anything. Who cares? It's not going to go anywhere. But as far as women being sexually liberated, that's not going to happen. No, not on that level. Because you can't have women out here just busting it wide open like that. I mean, they'll be having kids every fucking where. And you think women are having kids now? Could you imagine if every woman, let's just say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, that the president passes executive order that gives women the right to have sex as much as they want with who they want without no consequences involved, married or single. Whew, my God. Well, you would see these women would lose their minds out here. There would be no rules then. All the walls would be broken down. That can't happen like that. That can't happen like that. See, because I got women, they love sex. So this is one in a woman's nature. And a lot of times they're socialized. The way women are socialized here, that makes it worse. Really. See, in other countries like Japan, China, women are socialized not to have sex. And see, in those other cultures, it's embedded, the practices and everything, and they're socialized not to be so sexual. Even though some women do, they sneak out and do things that goes against how they were raised or whatever. But the difference is, and see, in those other countries, they don't question authority. They don't. They're not fighting anything. They're not going to court and that shit. They're not doing anything. They don't do that. Now they might do that. They'll do that when they come here because they can get away with it. But where they came from, they ain't gonna be able to get away with that. Because what happens is they get checked over there. They like I remember when I was in Japan. I think I met a guy that needed an attorney. Something happened while he was over there, and he had a very difficult time. And I was asking him. I was asking some Japanese guys, "Hey, what's up? Why is it so hard to get an attorney over here? It seems like that's looked down upon." And they was like, "Yeah, it is, because it's very rare that anyone needs an attorney." And he said the reasoning behind that is because they'll shame you. They'll shame the person that wants to get an attorney, and then they'll disassociate themselves with the person. They won't hang with them no more. Everyone will just cut that person off, and that's the fear that a lot of people think about over there. So if you're the type of person that um if you don't follow the status quo in Japan or some of these other places, but just I'm going to use Japan for example. If you don't follow the status quo in Japan, people will disassociate themselves. I mean, they won't hang around you no more. They won't invite you over to the meetups, the parties, holidays. They won't, so a lot of people think about that before they're conscious of what might happen if they do certain things. So that makes a lot of people not want to question anything. They just go along to get along, you know. But here in America, it's not like that. You can question things and talk about things. In Japan, they don't talk about anything, really. It's like it's so many taboo subjects, and the pressure is on to conform over there. And if you even talk about anything that's on your mind, some problem that you might have, that's looked upon as weak, being weak. So it's really hard. So if anything happened to you over there, especially you being a foreigner, you're going to have a very difficult time getting anything done over there. The only way you get anything done is if you're attached to some organization, military, bank, some big institution, something like that. But if you're just like somebody that just got married over there, you ain't got to be married. But somebody that just came over there to work, teach English or whatever, or you just got a job, just a regular 9 to 5er working, and something happens, you got some type of legal problem, bro, it's gonna be very difficult. It really is, you know. But hey, man. But you got to look at it like, look at what's happening in society now. You have women, radical feminists out here. And a lot of these women, check this out. This is another thing that you have to peep too. You got to peep game on a lot of this stuff. A lot of these women, all I really hear them talking about is having sex with people. That's all. That's all I really hear them. That's all. When they say freedom, they're talking about sex. That's what they're really talking about. They're not talking about freedom like free to go to do and whatever you want to do as a woman or woman. When they say woman's rights, it's always a sexual component in there, some way, somehow. See, they really want to destroy the traditional relationship, marriage. They want to get rid of all that, and those women want to be able to do what they want to do, have as much sex as they want, with who they want, when they want, how they want, without being judged, without losing their livelihood, benefits, with no consequences. That's what they really want. It's always a sexual component up in there. This is why a lot of women are, they get involved with these other groups, kink groups or BDSM or swingers clubs that's out here today. And you got a lot of private groups too. This is why a lot of women get involved with these groups, organizations, because they love sex. They got that fetish. Some women have fetishes. So that's what it is. You know, you can do that over here. A lot of these other countries, a lot of these groups probably don't exist. So a lot of these women, when they come over here, they have freedom, way a lot more freedom than they realize compared to where they came from. And in some of these other countries, you can't say you're what? You can't call yourself a blogger or an author. Someone has to grant you the authority. You can't call yourself a writer or you can't call yourself anything in a lot of these other countries unless someone has to co-sign you. I mean, it's like just doing videos. And see, some of these other countries, that's difficult. I mean, certain websites get blocked. So hey, hard being a woman in some of these other countries, and outside of the U.S., women are not treated very well. A lot of people don't realize that women are not treated very well. Women aren't outside of the U.S. is a different mentality. Outside of, especially outside of North America, even if you go South America, it's a different mentality. They don't put women on the pedestal like that in these other places. The men are on the pedestal, but they don't broadcast it, and they don't really put it out there like that. They just use women. They exploit women everywhere, worldwide. Especially in the westernized countries. North America, South America, UK. But they exploit women, sell product, services. You know, all that good stuff. And then when they get done with them, move on to the next couple women. But women don't run any society. Everything that a woman has, some guy gave it to her, directly or indirectly. Women don't be. You're not gonna hear a woman in Japan really talking about very much anything. Not a Japanese woman. Now it might be another woman from somebody somewhere else, Caucasian woman, some other woman from someplace else. But in Japan, a Japanese girl, that's very rare. I've never seen it. I'm talking in the media. Now they do protests, but you're not gonna see that on television. You might hear about it, but so it's a different game outside. But just know that women, they love sex, and it's in their nature. Heck, how did you think you got here? One luck. You should be you should be fine with that. Really. Have fun with it. I do. Do I agree with everything women say and do? Of course not. What the hell can I do about it? I can't control them, just like you can't control them. I can influence them. I can upgrade them. I can put them on game. I can learn from them in some cases. But I don't own none of these women. And you don't either. Regardless of you say, oh, that's my woman, that's my wife, that's my girl. You don't own her. If she want to slide out and sleep with somebody else, she'll do it. And you can't do nothing about it. That's just what it is. So just have fun with it, man. Don't get all emotional like a lot of guys do. They start acting like women. Don't be like that, bro. That's a turn off for a woman too. You start getting all emotional. Yeah, she's already emotional already, and you start getting emotional. You can't have two emotional people together. Oh, that's a recipe for disaster. You know, it is. It really is, man. So hey, man, before I forget, follow me on Instagram at Sharp Game, and check out my new channel, the Day Job Bailout Plan. That's the Day Job Bailout Plan. Follow me over there if you want to learn how to make more money. Day Job Bailout Plan. I'm trying to get at least 1,000 subscribers. After that, I don't care. You know. So the Day Job Bailout Plan. Follow me over there. Subscribe. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Go get my books. You know, Love Can't Wait on Amazon.com. Till next time, man. I'm out. Peace.